Hi, everybody. It is Monday night.
Sketchy Live Monday, the podcast. What is going on?
Sorry, we're a little bit late tonight.
Technical difficulties, and it seems like we're glitching already.
Are we?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because I'm freezing. I'm frozen on mine.
Oh, mine's fine.
Let me take Bluetooth off and make sure that's not screwing around with anything. Anyways, hey, Sketchy Live Monday, the podcast. I am John Jalopy, hot rod artist. I can actually say that without hesitation. And with me, my beautiful wife, the supporter of all supporters, I still hearing an echo. She's amazing. So yeah. Sorry, there we go. Yeah, and you made it to Sketchy Live Monday, the podcast. We're so excited that you're here. Thanks for stopping by.
We got some stuff to talk about tonight.
We got lots to talk about tonight.
Some changes going on here, and then we have some cool topics if there's time.
Oh, we're gonna make time.
Okay. We will be
hang out. We'll be right back.
Right back.
What's going on in Sketchy Live Monday, the podcast? You've made it.
Yes.
Tonight we're not drawing anything. I've been drawing all day long, and boy, my eyes are tired.
So let's get everybody up to speed, because maybe not everybody saw the post.
Maybe not everybody knows.
So yeah, Johnny is a full-time freelance artist now.
Yes, I've made the transition and the jump, and so excited about the opportunity. Oh boy, am I a big liar? I'm excited, but yeah, we're gonna talk about it.
Yeah,
because you know what happens when your
elephant in the room.
When your dreams come true, sometimes there's a lot of challenges and I'm sure there's guys out there that have been doing it, full time, and I guess it would have been good to ask questions like, hey, what to expect, all those kinds of things, especially that first day. And this is day 3.
Yeah.
Officially.
Yeah.
So, do we kick it from the start as far as let's the transitional thing?
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, my retail job has ceased to continue. I don't want to talk crap about. I'm not a backbiter, so I won't get into specifics. Other than I worked for a company for quite a long time and gave my heart and soul to it, and in not so many words, they gave up on me. And that's happened a couple times in my life where people have given up on me, and I made a decision that, oh, you give up on me? No, I'm sorry. I'm done with you.
Yeah.
So if you don't want to support me and all the time and efforts I've put in for you, then clearly I'm just a number here. Mm-hmm. So I resigned.
Yes.
As of Wednesday?
No, Thursday morning.
Yep. So
but it's exciting. It's an exciting new chapter, and I think you want to be excited about it, but there's also the pressure, the financial pressure.
Yeah.
And I think that's really what you're struggling with right now.
Definitely the
unknown.
There's nothing like going into when you have a job and you have a job to do and you've been doing it for a long time, and it's a routine. It's the same thing day in and day out. Things change as far as like what maybe might come up against, that kind of thing. So going to a regular day job, everybody, many of you totally understand what that's like, to go to a day job and you've got your day planned, and it's a matter of surviving the pitfalls and the different things.
Yes.
So to transition from that to what I've dreamt of doing, which is to just be able to do art and draw cars and enjoy doing that with time not trying to fit it in and rush. And how do I make that fit with my family time and my wife time and my home time and you know and I was able to do it for quite some time, but not to how I wanted to do it, to the quality and abilities of what what are you doing over
I
there?
was trying to fix it.
What I'd hoped to do. So, you know, this change in jobs has given me an opportunity to say, let's give it a go.
Yeah. And it is exciting. And there have been it was so funny because you would just I think we even last week talked about it
Yeah.
last Monday about the little special that you were running
Yeah,
for
well, and you had said I sent that I reposted it. I don't know if you saw it on your Facebook thing. Uh, Hank Dudden, our awesome web designer, had made a short, and it was basically you saying this, which is, "Don't you wish you could do this full time, where you could just go to the shows you want to go to and be a part of the culture itself, and really dive and immerse yourself into all these. You put this time in." You've developed this skill set, you've got a following, all these kinds of, wouldn't it be awesome if you could do that? And then boy oh
T
boy,
minus 3 days later.
it was literally 2 days later.
Yeah, really. When it
Actually, it was the next day is
is when it
when
started.
it started.
Yeah.
And so it was like, wow. But then seeing that thing, I was like, holy cow, we just talked about it. And
And what you thought was an unattainable dream for the longest time
impossible idea
is now where we're at.
right.
And many of you have reached out and gotten on the schedule. We're so thankful
Yes,
for that.
thank
You're
you so
keeping
much
them
for
busy.
those of a reach out. I've got been fortunate enough. I had a gentleman that was in the transition of, like, when my mom got sick and stuff. It was somebody who would want me to do commission work for them, and just like that next day was like, hey man, I don't know if you remember me, blah blah blah. And I was like, oh my god, yeah. So there was job one, and then another person reached out for some t-shirt artwork, which was awesome. And this is the next day.
Yeah.
Where I tendered actually the day I tendered my resignation, and then went and tried to go look for a job. And I went to 2 or 3 places to try to find a job, and then came home, and in my, in email, a couple message box, and then in email, there's 3 jobs. And I was like, oh, wow, okay. God's moving.
Yeah. Super exciting stuff. So
it was very exciting because I was like, whoa. And then so I was like, great. And I was like, okay, now you got to make that, you can make this, try to make this happen. And I've already stumbled on my own self 100 times already, because there's a part of me that feels as my wife's getting up and going to work, I would usually go, okay, even if it was I worked later in the day, she'd go to work, I'd eventually go to work, and then she'd be home, and then I'd come home. And so here's where, she's leaving me, and I'm here, and I'm getting to do my dream, and feeling a little guilty that I now have this opportunity for it. So I'm working. I'm trying to work. I got it. I have to work through that.
You do.
We just sat. That's why we were. Hey, let's be transparent, because that's what we've always done here on the Sketchy Live podcast, and what we've done in our whole life with you guys is we've been very transparent up until. That's why we're late. I was sitting on the couch and we were discussing this because, again, every second today I was working on people's projects, art projects, and I just was listening to my music, and I was just in a great headspace and just enjoying the heck out of myself. And then as soon as I was like, okay, let me get up, I need to stretch a little bit, and I'd walk away from work, and I'd start to feel guilty of, like, what are you doing, man? You got to get work done. You got to make this happen. So,
and there's an element of urgency with some of it, because we don't want to go weeks on end with no payments coming in.
We got financial responsibilities that before, yeah, tendering my resignation. And
but we definitely want to make sure that you're getting time away from the desk too. You don't want to burn yourself out to where you don't want to do it anymore, and then
Right.
That's going to be a problem. That's going to be a whole other issue that we've got to deal with. So
as we sit right now, guys, and then we want to hear from everybody. I'm giving it a go to do Johnny Jalopy Hot Rod Art full time. I would really love your support, and I love the continued support I've gotten from all of you up until this point. Here's the throwing it out there. Please head over to the website, Johnny Jalopy Hot Rod Art. Pick up some prints and some t-shirts.
JohnnyJalopy.com.
Keep the bill payers at bay. I could really use the support.
And you still have room. He still has room on the schedule.
I still got some spots. So hit me up if you're interested in having your car done for a really great price right now.
For right now, I think this special runs through the end of the month.
It does through the end of May.
$200 for a sketchy design.
Who's on the broadcast?
We've got James Olchin, blast from the past.
Yes, James. Hey, what's up, man?
Good to see you. We've got Lizzie Daughtry, Elizabeth Handmade Jewelry and Crafts.
Up,
hello to my two favorite peeps of the week.
Thanks.
You guys are running late. Yes, we are.
Yes, we were.
Cameron McNulty.
Hello, me daughter. I got to tell you a story about that. That's another amazing thing that happened in this whole situation. It was just an amazing moment in my life that I will like snapshotted and went chakooch, and I'm not gonna ever forget it. I'm probably gonna get emotional as soon as I start talking about it, but it was an amazing experience between my daughter and me. Go ahead. Who else?
Oh, I thought you wanted to share it now.
Not again.
Okay. We've got Rob Earl. Hello, ity-B and Johnny, tuning in from a very flooded Hunter Valley today. So much rain falling. Sorry to hear that.
You probably need it though, I bet.
We have kayaks for sale if you're interested. Chris
Malinsky. Ship to Australia.
Chris Malinsky joining us from Detroit.
What's up, Chris Malinsky?
We missed you guys up there. James Olchin said, sorry to hear that. You're better than them about your work situation.
Thanks, man.
We've got Sam Metro on the broadcast tonight.
There's my buddy. There's Sam.
Hey guys, I was waiting on a YouTube and Sketchy Live isn't on. It should be. We're streaming live on YouTube and Facebook tonight.
It doesn't look like you've got attached to.
It's right here.
Says check mark on it.
Sorry about that, but it should be. Michael joining us. Hey gang, sorry to hear your job, but in all honesty, you have done the right thing. Yeah, and I think these are the comments he needs to hear.
Yeah, next. I appreciate that. And again, I've 17 years of loyal. What's amazing to me, and again, not to go into so much detail, but what's amazing is that when you're put to the test, and like listen, that was the store the upper higher ups would bring to when the big wigs were coming, because I was listen, I'm able to communicate, and I was able to talk and say
hold
the
things,
hold a conversation, hold my own.
You knew your stats.
Show my
your store was clean.
Show my stuff, all those kinds of things. Talk the talk, all that, and then to be transformed into just like every pro team. Not every year is a banner year, and sometimes you struggle, and depending upon the economy and different things like that, it can be tough. And there are some stores that do great. So yeah,
I think that the hardest part of all of this really was that it came on the heels of me going through the same issue at my work and me leaving my job and going to a new job. So there was back pay and a week off I had in between.
So some dirty deeds done to us there too. So it's been piled on.
We've just been hammered by our day jobs, and I am in a place now that I love.
Yes,
I mean, it's been a month only, but it's been fantastic. So I'm so thankful.
You're in your headspace, and it's been great to see how joyful you are when you come home.
So at least one of us is in a good spot. It's either him or me. Just Paul Marziani is joining us. He says, "Good luck, enjoy it."
Thanks, Paul.
Chris Malinsky said, "Johnny, you got this."
Thanks, brother.
James Olchin said, "Praise God," and we've been doing a lot of that. We've been super thankful for this opportunity, and we're going to give it a go. And I just know God is going to bless it, because it's something that I think has been on our hearts for a while. Clearly, we just talked about it last week. So, V-Dubs Creations totally support you to be happy and enjoy your life. Life is too short to not do what you love. Good luck.
Yeah. Appreciate that.
George, Make Art Glass Man. Hello, kids.
Man?
Lots of love from the People's Republic of Illinois. Michael said, "I sent you, and I am on Facebook with some job openings."
Okay.
Yeah, and there's been a bunch of people who have sent some stuff, so appreciate it. We've got George Bennett. Hello from George and Hot Rod's Motorcycle Awareness and Suicide Prevention Foundation.
Hey.
Welcome. Good to see you on.
Yes.
Hank D. There's our Hank Dutton web designer.
Yep.
So you need to make some time for me. June 4th through June 9th. I'll be close to your neck of the woods. Okay, that's right. Because he's going to be in Disney. Yeah. And I said, well, we'll have to check Johnny's schedule. Boom, wide open now.
It's sort of opened up.
Cam said, you can do this, Dad. Remember what we talked about. Love you.
So yeah, tell
the story.
It's just okay. So, as we've shared, I carry where's it at? Can you see it? There's a Band-Aid on my arm.
Let me.
There's a Band-Aid on my arm. That Band-Aid represents healing between relationships between me and my daughter and both daughters. But Cameron mainly at this moment in time, and a lot of things as far as her her childhood and time spent away, and me just not getting an opportunity, unfortunately, to be around her as much as I would have loved to have been. But things happen, and the beautiful thing is that we've been given an opportunity to reconnect, and we have reconnected, and things are great. And I got to be with my grandkids. You guys all saw that, which was amazing.
Yeah.
But it was neat to be in a position. It was neat, humbling, and neat. And I was so grateful. And again, took the the picture of me on Zoom with my daughter and her giving me encouragement to stick to it, and that I was doing the right thing for me, and she was happy to see that I would have an opportunity to do what give a go at what I've dreamt about doing. She witnessed me coming home when she was here visiting, and she said how you were miserable, Dad, and I hated seeing it, and she just wants me to be happy. And again, for her to be wishing, with all the things that we've been through together, for her to throw all that aside and still be able to be encouraging to me when that was what I was supposed to be for her as a kid. But her flipping the script and giving her dad encouragement means everything to me.
Well, I love you, Cam. She is a mom and has that innate ability to.
She's a great mom.
Want to just help? Yeah,
she's fantastic mom, and
super patient.
We witnessed that, and again, it was really. There was a moment where she was about to lay some super advice on me, and it was really good advice. And I just stopped her, and I was like, "Hey, I just want you to know I love you." Just because I was like, this moment right now, you know what I mean?
You'll remember forever.
It was one of those moments.
Yeah.
That I will cherish and remember forever, even though it was not on the best circumstances of what I would, having your kid give you advice like, "Hey, Dad, you can do this. Come on, buddy. You could, come on." You know what I mean? I'm supposed to be doing that for her, but
maybe you'll remember this and not forget like you did the SeaWorld trip.
Well, that wasn't her. So, but yeah, rub it in.
Oh, Mike Hicks is tuning in.
Mike Hicks. What up, brother?
Hanging with the boys, tuning in.
What's going on?
We love ya. Sam Metro said, Hokey smokes, Batman. I'm friends with a full-time hot rod artist and his much better half.
You are.
I love it. Randy Keats joining us. Hey guys, how we doing tonight?
Doing great. Thanks for being on.
Fantastic. Paul Arnold, hello from Michigan. Welcome. We've got
the Michigos.
Jamie Russell is
What's
on.
up, Jamie?
What is going on? She just had a little change in her job responsibilities
as well, which is great. Happiness for both.
This is like the time of year for change, I think, for people. It must
what's
be.
That song?
With every season.
It's in my. I can hear it. It's in every. It's in every one of those 70s movies. Change.
You know what? Maybe it's just this season, age.
Change.
It's the age and it's the time where I think, for me, you just you hit the limit of where you just need to make a change.
Fantastic. You're absolutely right. You get to the age 56 where you start you start looking mortality, your time on earth, what you have left, right? Because when you were in your 20s, you're like, I got forever, man, I could do whatever, you know what I mean? So you felt like you just had so much time. I don't feel like I have so I mean, listen, I'm a believer, so I know I have forever. But what I'm saying is, on this earth and with the people that I love and the time spent doing this part of life that I'm to enjoy as well. You start looking at like how you are treated, or how your view, all those things that make you to where you're like, I'm not going to take that.
Yeah.
I certainly didn't do anything so wrong that I deserve. And again, if I was in the positions, which I am and was in the leadership position, and you have to look at the whole picture. And sometimes, yes, the bottom line is important, but sometimes you have to be a realist too. And there are things that and that's probably, as we were talking about looking for, when I was like trying to go think of what other jobs I could do. I don't know. It's where I don't know if I could do that kind of a thing again, because my viewpoint of life is just so different than it was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
The things that in the eyes of big business, what they look at as value, I don't see as value anymore. Time spent with family and time spent not fooling around, but time spent quality. There needs to be work-life balance.
Retail, especially, which is
of course
what you were in, is completely different now than it was years
here's
ago.
what the funniest thing about that, and watch, pray that I don't. And with your guys' help, I won't have to. But if the situation ever comes to where that's what I got to go back to do, because it's a possibility, and I'm not naive or stupid that isn't a possibility. But the reality of this, what I think is amazing about retail, and I've watched it happen over the course of the last 20 years, is retail has really talked about how they striving so hard to make sure our employees have a great work-life balance. And the reality is that's not true at all. Because there are some people that get in positions to where no matter what you do, what's thrown at you is, hey man, your salary, you're available here all the time.
Yeah.
And that's great. And there's the beauty of the salaried position, because it's money come in, whether you spend, like I used to tell you, whether I'm there 8 hours, I'm there 20 hours, they don't care. It's the same pay.
Yeah.
So, or like when I was going in during the hurricane season, and after, when it was storming and everybody else was told to evacuate, and I was running down to my location to make sure it was secured and cool, and I was letting other employees go. I was the last boat out, to make sure everybody else got home safe, and I had to fight to get them to allow for them to go home. I stood on that rock and said, no, you know what? No, I'm sending them home because it's not safe. Well, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, you can be mad at me, write me up then. But I'm sending people home.
Meanwhile,
because I want them to be safe.
Your family was home.
My family was all home.
And we weren't, we needed you here.
Yeah.
And you left to go do.
I had to go do what I had to go do. Yeah. So, I
And
mean, that's.
Water runs to the bridge. Water runs to the bridge.
I'm whining about a position that I took that was my responsibility. That's
it
part
was,
of it.
And you did it. And but that type of reaction to those situations is what was overlooked.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
That's the part that hurts.
Dennis Goff, hey, I'm watching from where I'm at.
Hey,
awesome.
I love it.
We appreciate it.
You should have said, and the temperature is a temperature.
Frank Owen said it was good talking to you in Messenger today.
Hey, you too, man.
We've got Mary Evans and Dan Evans joining us. The Evans are on.
It was such a blessing on Sunday after fellowship. Dan and Mary jump in their really cool convertible.
We didn't
toy.
Post the picture.
Yeah,
and I got the picture.
And the two of them, they're just the best.
They both had on their Johnny Jalopy hats.
And they all both have their Johnny Jalopy hats on. They're cruising down.
I gotta send you that so you can post
the
it.
best.
You'll have to check Johnny's page later. We'll have it on the website.
And that was another moment where I was like, if you don't feel supported by the people around you that love you, you're an idiot. I'm an idiot because I still feel, I'm still concerned because I don't want to let anybody down.
Jamie said, "You got this, Johnny."
Thanks, Jamie.
And then she said, "You have the best wife in team." She's
yes,
not
I
lying.
do.
She's not lying.
I know I do.
We've got Maddie Jojo
What's
joining
up,
us. Hi
Maddie
from
Jojo?
Tasmania, Australia.
What?
Another Aussie on. Welcome.
Very cool. Welcome.
Cam says she loves you. Jamie said adult kids are amazing.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
It's it's a trip sometimes. You're like, oh my gosh. I'm totally being adulted right now. I feel like a kid, but it was the best. It was again. I'm so grateful.
Yeah, she's wonderful. Jamie said it's full moon energy. Oh, maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, maybe.
Alicia Allen, hi there.
What's
Sorry it's
up?
been so long. I've been following you on Facebook.
Well,
Alicia, we gave a huge shout out to you and your
Yes.
husband last week, actually.
Lisa, I hope it comes off that way because ity-B was talking about you guys as being a part of the culture and being immersed in the culture.
You are.
And I stopped her. I was like, hold on. And I wasn't. So if you got to see, there's a short out on YouTube and also floating around Facebook. I hope you understand. I wasn't saying in any way that I didn't think you guys, because you definitely are. I was just, because sometimes she'll go on a rant and I'm like, hold on, let's get
in my head,
and dot the I's before we, just paint a big wide brush.
But I was giving you guys a shout out because I see how active you are in your jobs, and it's just, and then like the way you dress and you're going to all the shows, and it's just wonderful to see. So
Fantastic.
Great inspiration.
Yes.
Riff Driven joining us on the YouTube. Hi
on
all.
The tubes.
Sam said, "Turn, turn, turn" by the Birds.
Yes, that's it. DJ Sam Metro.
He does everything.
Hey, what is your DJ name, anyways?
Michael, a good friend reached out to me today that he was let go from his job after 35 years. Yeah.
Well, I mean, in that way, I wasn't. I said no. I will not be. I will.
I'm gonna walk before you let me go.
Well, and it was more along the lines because. Hey, can I get a little? How did the person put it? Where it's not in confidence or whatever. How did he put it? Anyways, but it was along the lines of like, hey, my best interest would be if you could hang for a couple weeks, and then I can find somebody, and then and I'm like, so you want to just use me? I'm good enough to use. I'm good enough to stay here while you use me, but I'm not good enough
to stay.
Stay. Okay.
Whatever.
Okay.
Bye-bye then.
Message received.
George said, turn, turn, turn to everything. There's a season. Yes.
Yes.
Robert Alt, regarding your work situation now, Johnny, always remember when one door closes, then the roof comes down. You hit the gas, you go for it. Your talents will serve you and your family well.
Thanks, brother.
Yeah.
I appreciate all the support, guys, and all this words of encouragement. I could use them. I'm probably going to type all these out and write and put them on front of my wall in front of my computers. I'm working on stuff. Yeah.
Jamie said, "I feel you so much, Johnny. I'd love to return as an RN in the hospital, but I just can't." Yeah. Sometimes we just need to make changes.
Well, that was the thing, to that scope. So the next day I jump right. I'm like, okay, I'm not a quitter. And I don't, even though I resigned, I didn't quit. But I'm not a person that gives up on things. And immediately, I was like, well, let me pop in, start looking through, like the old days where we used to look through the paper. That's how long it's been since I looked for a job.
Through the paper. Wow.
It's been that long, where you would call to see if you can get an interview, or you would, drive to all the stores and fill out an application
right
in person, shake a hand. So as I'm going through and I'm looking at all these jobs that are basically what I just left, I immediately I just got sick to my stomach. Like,
I don't want to do this again.
I don't want to do that no more. I don't want to be, and I say that, it's still a little bitterness right now. So I'm not saying I don't want to, but having to, it's nothing to do with the decision making. No problem. It's nothing to do with being in a leadership position, as far as having people under you and having to mentor and teach and challenge and hold accountable, which, that's the way managers are taught to do it. Is they're not taught to do it, first of all, in nowadays. But it's all about, the reality, a really good manager is going to go up and they're going to have conversations with people and they're going to talk about it and see what's the road.
That's always been your strength.
What's the roadblocks? What's getting in the way? How can I help you do whatever you need to do? And a lot of times it's just that's just not their best skill set. A lot of times people get stuck in jobs that it's just not the right fit for them, and they need to be moved to other positions. And sometimes the places you work don't want you to do that. They don't want to give people second chances of, hey, this isn't the right fit for them. I think they should go here. They're like, nah, get rid of them.
Yeah.
And that's not how I would do stuff. I was like, come on, until I've exhausted all efforts and trying to give this person an opportunity. Now there were people that didn't care, but we're not talking about those kind of people.
Right. You were a good manager. Everybody there, in fact, the day you left and you said your goodbyes to everybody.
Yeah, people got emotional. And
everybody was emotional and didn't want you to go, but wished you best because they probably saw it too.
Yeah.
How much you need to get out of there. George posted Ecclesiastes 3:1-8. Some really good words. So we're going to dive into that later, but it says in verse 1, to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heavens.
That's right.
Yeah.
And listen, I got real, and if we want to talk about that kind of stuff there, George, I got super real with that morning, which was interesting. I spent a good 45 minutes, one-on-one with God, and poured a lot of my heart and soul out to the end result of what I asked for, which was to remove all the stress and pain and things that were killing me, because they were killing me. Every day, there are days I would break down and just like, I don't know if I can go. And I don't have that now.
Yeah. And that was that morning, and it was that afternoon you made the decision.
Yeah. After great counsel by other believers as well. So
yes.
So not an easy decision to do. I didn't do it out of emotion. I checked emotion at the door. I did it out of logic and
preservation of yourself. Yeah.
Integrity as well.
Yeah.
My integrity.
For sure.
Which is I'm not going to let somebody use me.
Sorry. We've got Brewdub VW Adventures on tonight. Craig and Angie. Hey guys, joined late, but sorry to hear they didn't absolutely value you, bud. Things happen for a reason. Hope this opens many awesome opportunities for you. Brewdub, we need to get with you on either your podcast or you guys on our podcast, but we'd love to have you on.
Yeah, for sure. You got stories to tell.
Jamie said you stayed. That's big. Alicia said, have faith. Yeah. God has a plan.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Yep, for sure.
Jamie said, you aren't whining. It's the feelings tree, and that's okay.
Thanks.
She said, what's up, Erie Eric? He must have popped on. I didn't see him.
It's a few more people.
There he is. Yeah. There he is. Randy Lindahl joining us from stormy Arkansas.
Whoa. It has been blistery stormy up in the what do you call that? It's not the Midwest, Tennessee.
I think it is.
Okay, Midwest.
It's mid. I don't know. And yes, Erie Eric is joining us. Welcome.
What's up?
Paul Marziani is joining us. He said their loss for sure. Alicia said we will definitely be in Detroit next year with our finished VW bus.
Nice.
Looking forward to that.
Yes, very much so.
We actually just talked with Shaggy the other day, and he's super psyched for us to come up in March again. So I think it's going to be happening. And now we have an open schedule.
Yeah.
Hank D said, were you like Mel Gibson in Braveheart, where you walked out the door yelling freedom?
No, you know what? Everything in me wanted to do like the whole everything.
So funny.
But what was most important to me, this was the most important thing to me after I gave them what I gave them. Usual protocols, they escort you out of the building. But I stopped and requested that I could at least say goodbye to each individual personally.
Mm-hmm.
So I walked in and shook each person's hand and thanked them for all the time that they had spent working with me and for me, and told them how much I appreciated their time and getting to share time with them, and to wish them the best. You know what I mean? And because that's, doing the other way would have been awesome. It would have felt really, really good for 2 seconds. But then I would have, those people still have to be there. And I just added an extra huge burden to their situation too. I
Mhm.
didn't, and don't think I didn't think about that.
I know.
To actually the person I handed my keys to, my assistant manager, who's probably sure the manager now, but the first thing I thought about was like, this is going to ruin your day. Like
Yeah.
you're going to have to
Do a double shift today
you're
and figure it all out.
because they ain't coming to help you. They didn't come help me. So, hopefully she got help and everything's running smoothly. And I wish them all the best. I worked with some amazing peers that I'm gonna miss, and great guys.
Yeah. Well, you
And
can keep in touch. You have numbers.
I'm going to. But that's a part I'm gonna miss that too, which is the camaraderie with those guys and
It was just
gals. So
all around a crappy situation. And much like mine, I gave my notice. And while I was on the phone with them, my computer shut down remotely and I was forced to bring it back.
Three, not
Okay.
all of the guys I worked with contacted me, but a couple did, and we're like, "What happened?" They were shocked.
Yeah.
I was like, "Well, I wish you luck, brother."
Ray Haas, Ray actually was the salesperson that sent sold us our Jeeps.
Sold us
3 years ago. He said, "I've walked off many jobs and things always better come up."
Yeah, brother.
Raphael VW.
What's up?
Greetings, my people. I hope you are well. A hug. I love you. I ask, are you coming to the show at the Pier, St. Petersburg, Saturday, May 24th? Might be able to now.
Yeah. I got to talk to the boss and see if she'll let me go.
Yeah, I'm the new boss. I'm the new supervisor. Jay Newby, our Michigan pal. What's up, guys?
What's up, Jay?
Hope it's all going well. Mary Evans said, I left Publix with 33 years of baking. God opened the door for me to be a paralegal. I had a real driving interest in the law. That's nice. Dan. Yeah. He did put his time in. Frank Pupello said, great show watching from Walt Disney World. This man is constantly on vacation.
You're on vacation. What are you doing watching our silly show?
Us. It's hilarious.
We appreciate it.
Oh my gosh. Jamie said you have to trust for sure. And that's really what we're building now. Yes. I'm fine with it. I trust him to do what he said he's going to do.
That's why we were late tonight, because I was on the couch
having a moment.
Having a breakdown almost of like, I enjoyed every single second of the time I was working on the things I was working on. But as soon as I got up from my chair, I was like, oh my God, what are you doing? You're not working.
It's almost as if I were standing over you cracking a whip.
Yeah, emotionally. Yes.
Emotionally. Okay, for the record, I have not said a thing.
No, you haven't. But
100% supportive.
No, you have been. And that's what I'm saying. That's the truth of it. You have been. You were the one that told me, don't. You deserve better than that.
I told you to quit.
Leave. You told me to leave the keys that day, and I was like, I can't do that. That's the wrong thing to do. You're being emotional. I'm not going to be emotional in this situation. So and then you're like, well, if you're not totally sure what you should, then seek counsel of. So I did, and
finished out your shift, and then the next morning you went.
Yeah. After thinking about it hard and putting some time and some thought and energy and prayer and all that kind of stuff, and it was just like,
it's going to be a day by day thing. I feel like
again, I told you, it reminded me of the next day I met you, which was, there was a situation that happened, and I was like, nope, I'm done. No, I'm done. No, I'm done. No, I'm done.
Prior relationship he's referring to.
Yes. And then one thing led to another the very next day. And where were you? Sitting behind me laughing, and I couldn't resist the giggle.
Well, I'm thankful.
Me
and
too.
I
My life has been different ever since.
Well, and you know what? This is your giggle. And our life's going to be different from this point forward. Dale Renner, Land O'Lakes checking in. I love you too. Welcome to the show. I'm glad you could stop in to say hi. This guy's always on the go, always at the racetrack.
Yes.
Kahuna Garage Photography. Hi guys. Hey, how are you both doing?
What's going on?
Welcome. Hank D said, so long story short, last June when I was laid off from my job, I thought a few people were going to reach out to me and tell me things were going to be okay. Not one person reached out.
Oh, sorry, man.
We had a conversation with you, Hank.
I think that was after that, though.
Or was
before
it?
That. Yeah, it might have been.
I remember encouraging you because I think you have amazing talent and you were wonderful. So anybody would be happy to have you on their team. Vivian Gilliard said you have a voice for TV, radio, cartoonies. Yes, so that is something we discussed.
Yeah,
because there's some voiceover work that he may be getting into, and maybe that we can squeeze that into the schedule.
You never know; it might be the new Dodge Durango.
We've got Ian Russell on the broadcast.
What's up, brother Ian?
He said free spirit.
Yeah.
And if this guy knows, right? Because he's doing it right now too.
Yeah.
Raphael VW with the hearts and loves.
Ian, luckily I'm not at the making pizza in a file cabinet grill yet stage. But that was some damn good pizza. Was it pizza we did that? No, we did that. I was like,
you had some.
We did some crazy contraptions to cook some food at one time in the old stomping grounds.
He said, do you? It's your best effort.
Thanks, brother. Thanks, brother. I appreciate you.
Chris Fields, first time to catch the live. Well,
what's up?
Chris, this is not our normal format. We've had a lot of changes going on over here, so we want to make sure we address them. But normally this guy would be sketching up some stuff. He's just been sketching all day. So
since we've got him on, Ian and Jamie are on. So let's make sure if you get an opportunity, you haven't been over there, and you're a big fan of Full Custom Garage. Well, let me tell you, Ian is building some crazy stuff still and doing things his way. No one's telling him what to do. He's in control of all his faculties and making some really cool stuff. And the team, Jamie and Ian, been doing really amazing stuff over there on the channel. And so go check it out on YouTube.
For sure.
Full Custom Ian. So I just wanted to make sure we gave a shout out for that.
Where we are. There we go. Sorry. Oh, Hank D said, sorry, I meant from the place I worked, my coworkers. Okay.
Gotcha. Yeah.
We've got Steve Heinrichs, sup from Lemp Brewery. Remember we visited in Missouri?
Yes.
We're going to be heading back to that show. When is it? October?
Yeah.
I want to say it's October.
Yeah. Well, we got to figure a way to get there because we're on the roster. We're on the roster. We're the first name on the roster.
Well, then we're going.
So that would be really crappy to not go.
Yeah, we're going to be there.
So
come hell or high water, we're getting Johnny there, guys. Ian said pizza delivery.
Yeah.
Dr. V Dubs Creations, would they let you draw at Old Town? We've been up there, and
I think we tried to do.
You didn't set up drawing. No, I don't think we could set up a booth.
No,
but we have talked to a couple of the shops there. This was years ago about carrying some of Johnny's merch in the stores, and that may be something we revisit.
Which that was a lot of. That was really when it was way undeveloped, and we didn't really have anything. We
only had like 2 designs.
Yeah.
We have like 21 designs now.
And a lot of them need to be revamped too. But now we got time, which is great. So that's the thing I'm also excited about, is to be able to go through and do that kind of stuff too. Work on merch.
Steve said lowbrow art show at the mill.
Yeah. Bevo.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Super great place. What a cool venue.
So we've got that coming up.
Mm-hmm.
As of right now, that is the only show for the rest of this year that we have scheduled, but that's only because we didn't have an open schedule.
Right. Well, and again, we still got
we still have finances.
Let's not get the cart before the.
No, but I mean, if somebody really wanted you at a show and they were willing to, get you there,
you're
available.
That'd be fantastic.
He's available.
Fantastic. It'd be fantastic.
I am pimping him out. He is available. I may not be able to come to help, but I think it's important.
If you've got a show and you need a voiceover person, make sure you call me 1-800.
I think it's important that you're there, and people get to see you, see what you do, and really get to know you as a person. Because I remember when we first started you were just first getting onto Facebook, and you're like, I really don't want to have to do this, and I'm not really into social media. This was back in the day, when you jumped from MySpace. And I said,
this was when I was back trying to friend Ian on MySpace,
and he said,
ghosting me.
He said, nah.
Jalopy, what? Nah.
So I said to you, I think it's important for people to see who you are as a person, and at the point that you started this, we only had the one page. Now we have since developed a Johnny Jalopy art page in addition. So we have 2 Facebook profiles, but the majority of the stuff that you print and the majority of your followers really came from that original Facebook page.
Oh, absolutely.
And a lot of it is
still there.
a lot of it
Ride or dies.
is big. People are wanting to see you and what you do on a daily basis and what your life is like and who you are as a person. And I think that helps sell too. And I think I'm sure Ian's going through this too.
Well,
people enjoy him as a person. He's
of course
he's real. He's down to earth. He's
they again, I will said it a million times, I'll continue to keep saying it for forever. I'm never going to forget the opportunity that was given to me to be a part of that guy's show, and that really helped catapult us to where more people started to know us and get to know, want to know me, and you know, all that kind of stuff. So you know, I know we were creating a following, but that definitely gave us a huge boost and some credibility for sure. You know, to be able to have, you know, like a talented artist like Ian build things that you drew and collaborate and do all that kind of stuff, you know, gives you some good street cred.
Yeah, he's very well respected.
So you know, I'm absolutely I'm so thankful that, you know, even though he never gave me a friend request thing in MySpace, that eventually when he came to come look, you know, say, hey, I want to build this car, what do you think? I don't know if you know who I am, which is always my favorite story.
And you wanted to ghost him so bad.
It's still always my favorite story of the day that he posted about a piece of my artwork that he was going to build something to do with it. And people contacted me, and then him messaging me like, I don't know if you know who I am. Meanwhile, all the DVDs and all, you know, just trying to be his buddy before that, if you know, social media friend. And then for him to say, I don't know if you know who that. I'm like, yeah, I've never heard of you. No, I was like, I can't even believe this right now. So, and then to be able to, you know,
go out there,
cultivate a friendship, and still look, he's on our podcast. Him and his wife are chiming in, which is amazing. It's in support. Yes. And that's I'm the grateful person that I am of that friendship that came out of all that too, is that even with distance and time differences.
Yeah, you haven't been out there in a while.
And he, you know, the things that they've been doing and working on, and busy people themselves, that they still will take a second to stop on our silly little show and give a shout out to. So we appreciate it so much, you two. And Ian, again, dude, you have no idea how grateful I am.
And I know you had this change with Jamie kind of stepping back a bit, and you taking on this responsibility all yourself, Ian, but I think that it's going to be amazing. I think
that's already
both of you are going to be doing what you want to do, and
you got to have good balance, and that's what we're talking about, which is the good balance between all the things. And you know, and he's already done a few episodes of, you know, filming, and he's making it work, and it's working, and it's still super interesting, and it's cool. I'm digging it. I'm a fan.
I'm excited for them. Riff Driven said, yes, that's how I learned about you. Was from Ian's show. A lot of people.
Yeah, and we appreciate that. I appreciate that so much.
And Sam says, when the weather gets cooler, we have to get you both over for one of my shows to set up a booth and sell merch. We would love it.
Yes.
Again,
soon.
Open schedule.
Yeah, we need to talk very soon, dude.
Jamie said, we love you both.
Back at you.
And then Ian said, we're always here. Have a UFO to build soon.
Nice.
Well, again, open schedule over here. When we have the funds, maybe he can. I want to fly.
I think it's funny. You're trying to pimp me out over there, but it'll happen.
Yeah, he's like, I don't want that guy over here. Look, we're good.
Yeah,
we're good here.
We're good.
Posting our comments, but
let me remind you of MySpace.
Darren Turner.
MySpace.
Darren Turner, Johnny and Ian collaborations are very cool. Proud to own one of them. Oh,
dude, yeah,
nice.
Yeah,
a lot of people have really enjoyed watching the two of you work together. they said that those were some of their favorite episodes.
Well, because Ian's
the dynamic between the two of you.
It was always, here we go, talking about full custom. I love talking about it though, because it was such a great experience. It was amazing, because again, you watch it as a fan and you see the guy and how he is and how he's interacted on video and stuff like that. Then you get to watch him and watch as much as he's a master of building things and customizing stuff and all that stuff. The skill set that is there is all the way he explains how to do stuff, the way he just the little quirky things he'll say or come up with. And those were the things I remember watching, because a part of how they would film the show is they'd sit, like Brooks would sit Ian down and they'd kind of go over what they had just done, kind of thing, to get the one shot, the single shot of him talking about, hey, you got, because what we're doing, and just to hear phrases and different things, it was mastery of doing it. And I watched many shows during and after try to do what he does and still does, and try to do it in the way he does it, and it would come off fake. Where Ian was, I'm like, they're totally trying to be Ian right now. They're totally trying to rip you off. It's so funny. I can watch it and I know, I'm like, come on, dude. Someone's been watching Full Custom and is not giving any credit to the fact that they're a big Full Custom garage fan. Yeah, I'm talking about all you other car builder shows at the time. Full Custom was even when it was on MAV TV, those guys were watching that show because they were, suddenly this big TV show guys have got a shop dog around and they're trying to get it involved. Wonder where they got that idea. So ridiculous. Anyway,
he's a diehard fan.
I am a fan.
Jamie said facts, LOL.
It is. It's so true.
Oh my god,
so true. I watched it. You'd see it and you go, and then you'd see him start doing a specific way they'd shoot it, and you're going, come on, man. Is there no originality? Go do your own thing.
Well,
stop biting.
Here's what wouldn't happen are like the fake fights.
Well, no.
That the other shows had, and again, did not have.
That was the awesome thing about his show, is in to his detriment, I'm sure sometimes, where he could have easily shot through the moon had he agreed to being, but that's not who he's ever been. At least as long as I've been watching him and seeing him interact, and he's still that guy. He's doing his thing. You know what I mean? He's doing it his way.
I can tell you the fights that we have are real.
Yeah,
they're not fake,
not scheduled.
Jamie said, and now on YouTube we get accused of copying. Ian was the OG.
For real, man. Come on.
God. You know what? At the end of the day, everybody's just trying to make it. Why can't people just support each other?
No. It's all good. I agree with what you're saying there, but it's the reality. The truth is, yeah. If you're on YouTube,
don't get them started.
If you're on YouTube and you're doing a channel, there's probably a good chance if you've watched, you're like, hey, okay, you're trying to figure out how the big guys do it, so I get it. But give some credit where credit is due.
There have also been
he is the OG, Jamie.
There's also been a lot of other podcasts that have brought their wives.
We're totally trying to do the Joe Rogan right now. Oh, is that what you're saying?
No, I was just saying you've watched some other podcasts where it used to be just like one guy, and then he was like, "Oh, let me bring my wife on."
Oh, I didn't bring. No, we totally copied that. So that
we copied that.
Yeah.
From who?
All of them.
Everybody has their wife.
Well,
on?
I just couldn't. I don't understand what you're trying to say. You trying to say you're an original now?
I think our setup and the way we do our live and our podcast.
Listen,
if that's what you want to call a video cast, I don't know.
Listen,
I call it a broadcast.
If you want to give credit where credit is due, this is the Channel 9 News.
It is.
Back to you, Barbara.
There's a disturbance.
4-alarm fire. 4-alarm fire. The third street.
Rob Earl said perhaps another collaborative episode with Ian and now Johnny in search of Johnny 5. Well, they know where it is. It's a matter of
you don't even understand.
Getting it outdoors.
Who just said that?
That was Rob Earl from Australia.
Rob Earl. Listen, Rob, I agree with you. I have dreams. I have dreams of we had actually
owning that car.
I think when we were working on Space Junkie, Ian and I were like talking about the Johnny Five, because there's stuff that like he wanted to do to it, just time ran out and he couldn't. So he, you can't get it to, because it was like, oh, if I had a little more time, we could have done these wheels and we would have done this different in it was really where he was really gunning to try to make it exactly like the drawing. With time and some probably some more funds would have helped as well, but I think we were sitting in front of, as we're in between filming Space Junkie stuff, we were talking about it, and we were like, we need to have like Operation Johnny Five Dumbo Drop, where he just copters Johnny Five in, drops it into Ian's shop, and then we go after it again and make it, because again, it needs to be seen. It is an iconic, amazing
such a cool
creation that needs to be seen and should be in shows. And if I bet if Ian had another opportunity to get at it and do what he really dreamed of doing with time, where no one's giving him pressure to get it done in 3 weeks or whatever, and to be able to be a part of that.
And that's the luxury that he has now, is to not have to work under that time frame.
Right. But you know what I'm saying? But at least for me, that's the dream, is like, God, if I could just get that car and bring it down, get it out of
when
wherever
you
it's
die.
at.
If I somehow got it and
You
it was
say
sitting in our front
I wouldn't die.
driveway,
I wouldn't die. I would not die.
Jamie said, you guys are the OG for real. You both are an inspiration.
Oh, thanks.
I don't know.
I don't know about all that.
I do know that it's 10:37 though.
What's that mean?
It's been an hour.
Oh,
already.
wow. That went by quick.
I told you we weren't going to get to the topics. We're going to have to save those for another day.
Let's read one topic.
All right. Pick a topic. Any topic. Discuss. Talk amongst yourselves.
This is under the building a brand as a custom artist.
Oh.
How do I turn a hot rod art into a real business is the question. How do you turn hot rod art into a real business?
But is there an answer there? Because that's what we need.
We're going to find out. Resign from your job and then start praying.
Ian said the fabrication on the number 5 was so close to the art. Yes.
Oh, for sure, man. For sure. Yeah. Again, how many people got fooled into thinking like it was like a scene from like where the villagers start coming after Frankenstein, when Ian's cutting up
pitchforks.
Yeah. And because Ian's cutting up a bus and everybody swore, you're cutting up a split window. How could you? And they're, oh, and then they're coming down the hills with the fire. And he's like, you idiots. It was a really bad shaped bay window that was already goofballed up. And he turned it into a split window. The fact that it fooled so many people into thinking that it was that's the talent of that dude.
Yeah,
is he fooled people into thinking that he made out of well, not nothing, but he in his brain and everybody was sore.
Yeah. So again, what was your question?
Oh, well, yeah. Ian wrote, missed on the headlight. Yeah, that was, so I know like the headlights, the front, right? The headlights, if you had a chance, we'd do the right type. Wouldn't you agree that if you had an opportunity, you would have like you did with the Space Junkie, you would have done the drag racing, style front wheels as well? Because that was one of the things you did get to acquire and found out and got a handle and a hook in on someone who could do those, which made that car look so sick with those. But I kept thinking, oh man, if those were on the Johnny 5, how badass would that be? And then, the motor and the intake part, doing that more like that, the intake that's on the, the drawing, the car I took the inspiration from, which was the Uncertainty. The question was, well, we'll do the other question. What is the best way to build a brand identity as an artist? You got to wear your stuff, man. You have to be just as stoked to wear your own stuff. I don't wear any. I don't wear
any other beanies.
I rarely wear anybody else's stuff. In fact, I've been going to these little microbreweries and kind of was collecting their t-shirts and stuff because it was really cool art and stuff. And then the day we'd get ready to go somewhere, and I'd look at this bright blue shirt with a really cool, hey, Smitty's, kegs and blood, and I'd go, Giant Jalopy. I'd put on my own stuff because I'm like, we're going somewhere. I want people to see it.
And there have been people that have been like, what is Johnny Jalopy? And then he goes, it's me.
Yeah. Well, I just happened to, I went into the post office. I was mailing off something. And Johnny Jalopy art. What's that? I'm like, me. He goes,
do you not see the shirt and the hat?
And he goes, that's a really cool logo. I really like that. I'm like,
yeah, my wife came up with it.
Take a look at it. It's me. If I just do this, I mean, what's the, where's the sticker? Go to the one shot. And that's the idea, right? There it is.
Dork.
But if I put headphones on, that's the idea. And that was totally ity-B.
Yeah, that's my idea. Oh my goodness. Oh, Art Smith is joining us.
What up, Art Smith?
Welcome, sir. Jamie said you are the brand.
Yeah,
he is. Ian said absolutely dragster front rims.
For real, right?
Yeah.
And if we could only find, like, wouldn't it be awesome if we could find, I know that they're out there. Like, how if we could have got a hold of like some funny car slicks, like the rear tires on a funny car or something like that. So they would have been just that much bigger in the back. Would have been so cool. Anyways, there's all these, yeah.
But the brand, getting back to the brand,
yeah,
it's you.
Yeah. What's the best way to build a brand identity as an artist?
You come up with something,
own your brand, and make sure people get it out in front of people.
And
don't be afraid to talk about it and be it and
create merch. I mean, we have so much merch available on the website.
Yeah, well, yeah,
21 t-shirt designs. We're out of hats right now, but we're gonna
new hats coming because I got
them.
ideas of
we're
new.
Getting them.
They're still gonna have the OG
black and white,
but we're gonna get some color stuff. I'm thinking about a red, white, and blue version. Just I'm a patriotic guy too.
Riff Driven said you might consider enabling tips in YouTube. Yeah, we are accepting tips on all forums.
So here's how that works, just to let you know. And Jamie is a mastery at this, the understanding of how YouTube works. I've been able to pick her brain. She is, I would say, like a mega YouTube genius. But it's one of those things you have to earn that as well. I don't think it's a thing you can just turn on, because if it was, I'd already have it turned on. But I think you have to have so many views. So, as you're all watching on YouTube, thank you so much. Make sure you hit like and subscribe and comment, please. Yes. These comments, unfortunately, on the lives, as many as we get, don't count towards the comments that YouTube looks at so that you can start earning funds, where you qualify or whatever. So comments after the thing in the comment section is where it really helps. So it'd be awesome even if it's just, hey, loved the show, or your art sucks, whatever it is. A comment helps. I'm not sure if negatives matter one way or the other, because we get those too. But
Jamie said, Johnny, you can call me anytime. I'd love to help you build your channel.
Now that we have the time.
She just quit his channel, but she's going to help you.
Hey, listen, she's smart. She could go from being doing that part, and then now just be where she's just a consultant.
She could just be a consultant. Yeah, that would be awesome.
Or what's the person where you're like, where you go and you just show somebody, what do they call that?
An advisor.
Yeah, I forget. But yeah, that could be there's another job for you, Jamie.
She said I didn't quit. I know, I'm kidding. She didn't quit. She's taking a step back to focus on some other things.
Yeah.
She did not quit.
Yeah,
my bad.
Of course.
Not quitting. I know. I'm sorry.
That's what you do. See, this is what we're talking about. As she was talking about other things, she'll just, in her mind, she's
working on the back end. She said she's still there.
Right. Of course.
Of course she's still there. All right, guys. Well, we are at now.
Way to go, ity-B.
We're now at an hour 4.
Jamie, go ahead and send your hate mails. ity-B at ity-B.com.
I don't have a guitar.
Talks out of her butt. It's all good.
She said, call me for the story. LOL. Oh my goodness. All right. we're gonna let you guys.
She's talking
go.
directly to you, by the way. Not
I
me.
know.
Yeah. She's so she can really tell you off. Listen, off your podcast. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you. I'm gonna tell you the real deal. Okay, pal.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So
we appreciate you guys.
Tonight's episode is all about change. And
'tis the season.
That's what we're doing.
Hey, make sure you put on that really cool 70s vibe. What was it again, Sam?
Turn by, is it flock of seagulls? It's a
flock of seagulls.
It's a bird of some sort. I don't remember.
I'm trying to find it.
Oh my God. It was who was it? The Four Seasons? No. That's every
what's it gonna do with birds?
I don't know. It was a bird. The Eagles, maybe?
No, it wasn't the Eagles.
I don't know.
Help us, Sam.
He said it was a bird. Like, subscribe, and comment with a heart. Ian said, "Yes, thank you.
Yes, please. We could really use
turn.
it.
It is by the birds.
By the birds. Okay, there you go. Well, make sure you turn yourself on and head on over to Giant Jalopy Hot Rod Art. We really appreciate it. Still got a couple spots available if you'd like to have your vehicle
reach out.
cartooned up. Would love to do that for you. Please hit me up there on the socials. You can
local shows. Let us know. We'll be at them.
Yep.
Or at least he will be.
We'll see.
We'll see what we can do.
See if Mom will let me.
All right, guys. We are so thankful for your support every Monday night.
Yes.
Hanging in there with us. Your encouraging words mean a ton to this guy. So
for sure.
Keep them coming. We love you guys.
Yep. Have a super week. Make sure you reach out and tell somebody you care and that you got their back. And I was fortunate enough. Boy, this week my good buddy Art Smith, you guys saw him on the last podcast, was in my corner and encouraging words, going through all this stuff too. And I appreciate your Art, man. Thank you for all the time you spent and have my back, brother. So great.
It's been an emotional week.
Yeah, it has been, but hey, good things are coming.
Indeed.
And
stay tuned.
Be joyful. Stay joyful. As much as you stay joyful, don't forget to stay sketchy. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye, guys.
With more fun and excitement. You watched the Johnny Jalopy podcast. I'm just trying that voiceover thing.
It's good. All right.
Peace.
Bye.